Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I know a couple days ago I posted a video about turpentine and it eradicating Candida. So I wanted to come back and talk about the metaphysical or spiritual cause of Candida. Every ailment in the body has a mental correlation or correspondence, as Florence Scovel Shinn would say. And so I don't want Candida to be seen as an outside problem, as something that is, it has power over you, or something that you need to feel like you are susceptible to getting. I mean, Candida is a pretty big deal. So I want you to be able to see that it actually comes from a breakdown in our auric or energetic field first. So your body, because it's made up of atoms, it operates at the energy level first. All the atoms come together, they're held together by this invisible force, which is the life force. And it's what leaves when your physical self expires and it's just time to go. So while it inhabits your physical vehicle, you emit an energy field. And it is healthy and well when your thoughts are in alignment with your soul. And when it gets out of an alignment, and especially if it's long standing, that's when your body starts to break down. It breaks down at the energy level, and then the physical level shows physical symptoms. Candida is a symptom of long-standing unworthiness. It stems usually from childhood as the result of feeling betrayed by a parent you couldn't trust. And it could be something as, I'm not going to say that anything is small. It doesn't have to be abuse and neglect. It definitely can be that if you can't trust the parent to love you when you need to be loved and to keep you from harm, the person that's supposed to love you the most, then you feel unworthy of that love. But it goes the same way if that person, if that patient, if that parent is emotionally unavailable. So that affects your root chakra, our roots, how we are rooted in the world, how we feel what our place is in the world, whether we can trust it or not. Trust versus mistrust is one of those very early things that we talk about in psychology, of something that is needed, like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in order to be able to thrive in the world, not just survive, but thrive. And so if you can't trust the parent to be the parent that you need them to be, it creates mistrust, and that breaks down your root chakra. So if that's going on, then it has the potential to lead into your sacral chakra, because sacral chakra is deeply rooted in relationships and creative expression. So if as a child you felt like you couldn't depend on that parent to provide the love that you needed, it also creates a block for you being able to express yourself in a way that is healthy. So then that in your adult life creates a divide between you and anyone that you could ever love, because you didn't ever learn how to truly allow someone to love you or to love yourself from a very early age. And that just keeps being repeated into adulthood until we finally get sick of it and recognize that we got to do some work. All right, so now you've got the root and the sacral chakra that have been broken down. So the root ties into your lower body, your hips, your knees, your feet. If you got any issues there, root chakra. If you have lower back issues, fertility problems, it's going to be your sacral chakra. Then most often what I have come to find in doing Reiki is that if people have those lower two chakras, it's blocked, most likely they're going to have a solar plexus blocked as well, because your solar plexus is deeply rooted in your will, your ability to stand up in the knowing of who you are, your authenticity. And so if you didn't feel from an early age that you were loved for who you were, it created some unworthiness. If you weren't able to express your needs and live in the knowing of who you are, how can you ever stand up in the will, in your own will, and be able to say, yeah, this is me, and love it or leave it, and to truly be able to love yourself. And so healing yourself at the root level is key. So, and we do that through shadow work and inner child work, so that your inner child knows, because we chose our parents. You can read that in Louise Hay's book called You Can Heal Your Life. You, as a spirit, you chose your parents when you came here to this planet so that they could give you the experience of growing your soul in only the way that they could. And to hold on, because we're supposed to just observe. We're supposed to be the observers. So to hold on to the past when we can't control anyone anyway is like poisoning the well. It's like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. Unforgiveness serves nothing except for unwellness in the body. How this correlates to Candida. All right. So like I said, your energy centers, your chakras, you have an auric field just in general throughout your body. It's your defense system. It prevents you from being susceptible to parasites, viruses, bacteria, fungus, which is why if you're high vibrational, you don't have to worry about all of the ailments of the world, So what happens is your roots broken down, your sacral chakra is broken down, your solar plexus is broken down, and these directly will link together into your gut. So now your gut isn't acting the way that it should. It's probably sluggish. Some people come in with gastroparesis, where their smooth muscles aren't working to activate the peristalsis in their intestines. So now food just sits there and it creates now physical blocks. They had an energetic block and now they have a physical block. And so food just sits there. Well, Candida naturally lives in the body. It lives throughout the GI tract and also in the vagina of women. Women only have vaginas, so in the vagina. And when the GI tract isn't working properly, or when we have energetic breakdowns, Candida can flourish. Candida loves carbs, like refined carbs. It loves meat and it loves dairy. So when we consume those things in an already sluggish gut, with our gut biome or the bacteria in the gut being out of balance, Candida can thrive. And when it does so, it produces toxins. And when it produces toxins, the intestines want to protect themselves, so they create lots of mucus. And so then there's all this mucus buildup. Nothing is really moving as it should through the gut. Enzymes from the pancreas and the liver aren't able to move as they should. Then women take birth control on top of that, which creates even more destruction of the gut biome. Then we're stressed and it's affecting our immune system. And meanwhile, the Candida is just loving this state, because boy, does it have a rich, warm, wet environment full of all of the yummy snacks that it loves to eat. So it's living in the mucus, and then eventually the intestines, like the toxins, build up so much that it creates tears in the intestines, also known as leaky gut. So now you had a local problem, but now because your gut is leaking, you're dripping toxins out into the body and into your bloodstream. Where does the blood flow? To all of your bodily tissues. So now you have a systemic, or throughout your entire system, you have a systemic problem instead of a local problem, which is why candidiasis is known to cause achy joints, achy muscles, recurrent toenail, skin, fungal infections, recurrent vaginal infections, heart palpitations. The thymus, because it is trying to send out immunity, is working overtime, so then it crumps. And then the thyroid is also working overtime, it crumps, and then because it's failing, your immune system attacks it because it thinks that it's a foreign body because it's not acting in its normal state. And then blood also flows up to the brain. And I didn't mention this, because candidiasis produces certain toxins. Those toxins make your blood cells, your red blood cells, less pliable, less bendy, less flexible, which inhibits the ability of oxygen to flow through the body and into the brain, which can create emotional disturbances and behavioral issues, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, all kinds of things. So what we think we're dealing with, like the feelings that we have, may literally be Candida. So yes, I absolutely believe that we should cleanse the gut, start there so that we're not already working from a deficit. Just go ahead and clear that out, eat healthy foods, love yourself. The more you love yourself, the healthier you'll want to be, and then the healthier you'll become. But it really takes some awareness to recognize that everything that affects your body comes from here, not out there. You are not susceptible to your environment in the way that you think that you are. You are not just a little pawn in this game. You are not at the mercy and at the will of these invisible forces in the outside world. Candida is a spiritual messenger. It is letting you know that something deep down inside you is broken, and it just needs to be healed. And it is absolutely possible to do that. Now, we have to recognize whether or not we have blocks that prevent us from healing, our barriers to healing. So in Louise Hay's book, and I've talked about this in previous videos, and specifically, she talks about unworthiness and sitting in front of a mirror and saying to yourself, I am willing to release the thought patterns that created this symptom, whatever it is. I'm willing to release the thought patterns that created this Candida infection. And when you do that, you will probably hear something in your brain or something just in general that doesn't feel so great. And we call that cognitive dissonance. Your body loves consistency. It's like trying to write with your left hand. When you're right-handed, your body wants to go back to its original state. And if your subconscious mind has been running on the program of I'm unworthy, or even worse, I can't trust and I need to protect myself, so I block myself from relationships and from deep personal connections, it's hard to move out of that state, because you will probably feel like if you do that, your life is at stake. And I know that may sound extreme, but if you've never been there before, trust me, like that's what happens. Your body will automatically go into fight or flight, because it's like, hold on, because your ego loves you. It's like, we have been through some really hard things, and I've been protecting you for so long, and now you want to let this protection go and open yourself up to potentially what created this problem in the first place? But the more we create walls around ourselves, the more unwellness we have, because the energy can't flow in a normal way. Your spirit knows that you are okay, and that you're safe, and that you are an infinite being, and that you are divinely protected and guided, even if that wasn't reflected to you in your childhood. Now you can step into the knowing of who you are, into the knowing that you are safe, and that you are loved, and that you are protected. You're watched over, so that you will be. That's the key, is knowing that you will be, because you are constantly creating with your thoughts. If you think you're going to get some ailment, if you think you're going to, get mugged in this certain part of town, or that you can't trust somebody, they will show that to you, and the world will show that to you. It's a reflection of your inner thoughts. So know that you're well, know that you're safe, know that you're protected, know that you are loved unconditionally, and that you always have been. So heal your inner child, do the shadow work, lay in bed at night, connect with those feelings, allow those memories to come up, and ask it what it needs from you. Connect with your ailments. You've got knee pain, talk to your knee. Lay in bed, put your hand on your knee and literally say, I hear you. What do you need me to know? And I promise you it will answer. You will get an answer. That is the law. What you seek, you shall find. I promise you. It may not come in the form that you think it will. It may come at a time that you couldn't even imagine. It's kind of like, when you talk about certain subjects and then you start seeing those subjects everywhere, like maybe in a book or an article online, or some random stranger just starts talking about it, because that's the law. Whatever you focus on is what will come into your experience. And your body, like in the articles that I'm going to post, say that your body is the greatest health book that you could ever read. It will tell you any and everything you want to know. So Candida is a really big topic. It creates all kinds of issues, seborrheic dermatitis, to go along with those fungal infections, just so many different things. So really consider what your self-worth looks like, what your worthiness looks like, what your self-love looks like. Look into the past, and if there's anything that brings you pain, I can promise you it's living in your body and creating ailments, even though we may not correlate the two. They are one and the same, because everything's connected. Your nervous system, your endocrine system, your muscles, your skin, your teeth, your hair, everything is connected, and so are your thoughts. All right. So go ahead and hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button and share the video if there's someone that may connect with this. See how everything that I said, see how it feels in the body, whether it resonates with you or not. Don't just believe what I said. Does it feel like maybe there's some truth there? Is there some digging that you need to do? And see if your achy joints may be caused by Candida. What's your diet look like? There's so much that goes into it. So watch the turpentine video. Get the Candida Cleaner 2.0 manual from Jennifer Daniels on vitalitycapsules.com, and post in the comments. Let me know what you thought. If you need any one-on-one sessions so that I can help you retrain your thought patterns, to help you let go of the past, to help you be in vibrational alignment with the person that you want to be, reach out to me. My website, www.chokureiki333.com, is available in my bio. And yeah, I'm here for you guys. I love you so much, and I wish for you your abundance of health, wealth, peace, happiness, and joy always. Until next time.